How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Breaking Ankles podcast. I'm Carl.
I'm Vic.
And we're here to
break ankles.
Making some few changes, playing around with the format of the video. We've had some new additions to our spacious studio. Some new lighting.
A halo.
Some new background.
On my head.
Some new technology, which is right up my alley.
Ayo.
Which is great.
Technology.
So hopefully making some more improvements to the podcast as we go along. So thanks again, everyone who's been watching the podcast. If you haven't had a chance yet, hit that subscribe button down below. And also hit the bell so you get notified on future episodes.
We haven't posted. We
haven't posted
in
a couple weeks, but we're
I wonder what happened.
Back on track.
What do you think happened?
I don't know.
Let's
figure that out. So, all right. So, and as you watch the podcast, feel free to leave comments down below. We'd love to hear what you're thinking as we talk about things here today. So, how's it going?
It's bright.
It is, with the nice new lights that we've got in the studio.
I don't know.
What are we calling the studio? Are we calling the
bright.
studio like 1A, or are we calling this, like Saturday Night Live has a studio name and number? Are we calling this like Studio V1 or VH1 or VW1?
Nah, it's kind of too egotistical for me. I'm not egotistic like you are.
I'm not egotistical at all.
Yeah, you know.
I'm very quiet. Like to be in the background.
We'll think of a name for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys can suggest some names for the new studio.
They won't.
We could.
They don't talk to us.
That's okay.
This is not a two-way.
I have faith.
This is not a two-way
I
communication.
have faith in our viewers. They're going to comment this week.
We did gain one
subscriber.
New subscriber.
That's awesome.
I was on Twitter a lot the other day complaining about Jim Boylan.
Oh, yeah, so let's start there.
Segue.
That's awesome. Nice job.
Thank you. I'm waiting.
So what are your thoughts on Jim Boylan?
Well, we did talk about him last time. Okay, so Jim Boylan, I can't stand him. He annoys me.
I saw a article about how after Levine hit the game-winning shot against Charlotte, that everyone went out to celebrate and no one went up to Boylan. Like they just left him alone.
Okay, so I saw the video of it. It looked like Archie told him to go away. But he did high-five Levine, and Levine said something to him.
Yeah.
Didn't look that bad, but it sounded like the two of them worked it out, kind of. But then the next game, the Bulls laid an egg again.
Yeah.
Yeah. They lost to Portland.
Do you think he's lost the team?
Yeah.
So you don't even think they're even trying for him or playing for him right now?
I think they tried to a certain extent, and they get frustrated by the ridiculous offense. I mean, it literally doesn't look like there's even an offensive play. It's like spread offense, go at it, make cuts. That's to me what it looks like.
The other part is and I think we talked.
Their lineups suck.
Yeah, we talked about this. Like, you can't go 11 deep in the NBA currently.
No.
You can't.
No.
You got to narrow it down. 8, 9, maybe.
Yeah, he keeps on having these small guard lineups.
Yeah.
And they were getting out rebounded. They got out rebounded by
Portland.
I don't know if it was Portland. God, I'm just losing.
Now they also did a lineup change with putting Shaq Harrison into the lineup. And you said the first game he played pretty well.
He did. Yeah, it wasn't bad. Chris Dunn is their best defensive person.
I think he's better on the second unit, personally.
I do too, and I think they need to separate Zach and Laurie with this offense in the different units. Honestly, Zach has been playing better defense than Laurie. So Boylan took Laurie out of the game for a good 10 minutes against was it Portland they just last played? It was not.
Yes.
No, it wasn't.
It was Portland, I believe.
It was not Portland.
They play Portland tonight.
They do play Portland tonight. It was their last game. God, I can't remember. Against the worst. Oh, it was Golden State. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, Golden State. At Golden State.
Oh, yeah. That was horrible. So, at the very end, they put Laurie back in with 2 minutes left. And
What's the purpose?
I don't know. And he wasn't shooting very well at all. They were 10 down, 12 down.
So, just as like a scenario, what if you were to put like Gafford into the starting lineup and put Lowry in the second unit? Or would you rather have someone else start?
Wendell and Gafford?
In the start. Because you already have Levine in as a shooting guard, as a shooter.
I don't know, Gafford and Carter. Well, you know what? Gafford would be the low post and Wendell working more at the L.
Yeah, at the high.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Some different. I think they need to. They can't have the same starting five. They've got to change that.
Well, they did. They put Shaq in the.
Yeah, but that was only because Hutchinson was hurt and Porter. It's the only reason.
Okay.
So I think Boylan is a terrible coach.
Well,
Based on what I've seen, he's horrible.
I think it's the whole. You have to start even higher than that. Like I think the front office.
That's what they've been saying in the papers.
I think the front office, they swing and miss way too often.
But once again, why did the Bulls pick a inexperienced head coach? He's an inexperienced coach. Yeah. And did you hear the story about Rajon Rondo back in, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago? Who was frustrated with Boylan as assistant coach and threw a towel at him, and he got suspended for a game?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
I just think that Paxson and Foreman, they don't want a guy that's going to go back to them and say, hey, I need this or I want this. Paxson and Foreman are stubborn in a sense that they want to say, here's the lineup you're given. We've done our job and given you the players. Now you need to go do your job.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm still thinking, like I think Mark Jackson is a perfect fit.
I do too. I don't really think that their team is the people on the team are that bad.
No,
I think they're not as bad as they're.
But we've
looking.
talked about. We just said it. I think that he's lost the team. I don't
Yeah.
think they're trying.
Well, they do. They try in spurts, and they look really good. Like they look like they can dominate teams at times.
Right.
For like 3 quarters.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So-
then he does the goofy substitutions.
Yeah, he lets the second string be in there too long, and they can't even
Right.
make a shot.
Right.
Okay, so talk to me about some of the teams the Bulls actually have played. We'll go in that direction. In the
So let's talk about Portland.
Well, yeah, tonight.
Because Portland, Melo went off for 20-something points against them. Did really well from the three-point line.
He did really
against
good
them.
against the next team he played. He was 9 for 10 or 8 for 10.
Yeah.
It was his best career
So I think Melo's starting to get into a groove.
field goal percentage in a game.
I just think that the teams that we're playing come in and they don't see the Bulls as a challenge. I think they come in and they feel like they can dominate. They can come in and they can just go in there and somehow, some way, even if they're down 15 or 20, they have a sense they're going to be able to come back against the Bulls. Not that many teams have fallen down against that far, but
No, not really.
the ones that have come back.
Yeah. I would tell you, Melo looks decent.
Yeah, we said, I think this is going
Yeah.
to take a couple weeks for him to kind of get back into form, right?
Yeah, we'll
and for
see.
him to kind of figure out where it is. And I think Melo has something to prove
Yeah.
because so many teams passed on him,
Mm-hmm.
right?
But what would you consider him being on the Blazers? The second option? Third option? What
Second option for sure. Dame is the first option.
Oh, Damon for sure.
Yeah,
Yes. I'm wondering second or third.
for sure. It's the second option.
Second?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Even before McCollum?
I think McCollum's been too inconsistent.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
if McCollum was playing the way he's supposed to be, they wouldn't have had to pick up Melo.
Yeah, he hasn't been doing that great.
And
Neither
the
is-
Whiteside thing,
neither
I
is
think
Whiteside, yeah.
I don't think it's panned out the way they had hoped, or he's not. And I don't know if it's he just needs to get accustomed to it. Like accepting his role
Yeah.
that he's got there. It also could be because we've seen this time and time before in the NBA where a guy that did well in his rookie contract all of a sudden gets the big money, and then they don't play well in that new position because it's different from where they played in the previous city. In Miami, he had a settle.
or the opposite.
The opposite,
The opposite.
which is
Let's let you figure it out.
if you people know what the heck he's talking about,
Well,
leave a comment down below.
when a player really stinks on a team and then on a new team and then he does really well.
Okay, the
That's
last
like the
player.
Chicago effect.
Okay, like the last player you can think of that was like that.
Spencer
What team did he play for? The
He
Bulls?
was on the Bulls.
And he won the game for them. Well, okay, that's
He
one
literally
game.
had 32 point. Who?
That's like one game.
Dinwiddie?
Yeah,
No, he's been amazing for Brooklyn.
I think he's been a solid player.
He's good. We should have had him. He could have been a number 2 guy on our team. It'd have been Zach and Dinwiddie. He'd be better off than Laurie.
Oh, there's a lot of guys who've let go over the years that.
Yeah, I don't understand Laurie. He can't even rebound anymore. They've got him so far out. He's not rebounding. 7 foot. My God. Rebound the ball. Get down there. Box out.
I agree. I 100% agree.
Ugh. Okay, so another guy that I was actually surprised by, and again, while watching Bulls games, was
Nice job with the.
Paschal. And you said he
Nice job with
was
the segues, by the
from
way.
where?
Great job. He went to Villanova.
Yeah.
He played with Jalen Brunson,
Who's
who's a
not
local
play-
product who
and
went
is-
to Stevenson High School
And
here.
is not playing very much with Dallas right now.
Well,
Because of the 2 studs,
yeah.
right?
Well, Jalen Brunson's a role player. He's gonna be one of those guys that has like a 10, 15-year career. He's gonna be like city to city, right? Because he fills a role, he fills a need, and he does it well.
Possibly. He reminds me of Derek Fisher.
Yeah, that's a good.
And yeah,
That's a
and
good.
he had a very good
Yeah.
career.
Very
Yeah.
solid. Derek Fisher was a very
Yeah.
solid player.
Mhm.
You know, was a professional, came in, did his job, did exactly what he needed to do for each.
But
of
what
the
about
cities he played.
Paschal? Have you seen him play? I mean, he's
I saw him a lot in college. I haven't seen as much of him in
in the NBA games.
in the NBA, but
He looked. I mean, he's been really consistent. I mean, the Warriors are horrible, and he is.
I think the
literally
good thing
only
for the Warriors,
consistent player.
right? The good thing for the Warriors is that these players that are playing now
Yep.
are still under contract
Yeah.
for next year.
Yep.
Right?
They're getting a lot of playing time.
Assuming they can, and you know, Draymond is the X factor for next year, whether he re-signs with them or not,
I
right?
have to check our time.
But if they could do Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, and if Green comes back and all these players come back, and with a year underneath their belt and experience in the system, they could really be something to deal with next year.
yeah, if Clay's healthy,
I think Klay's going to come back stronger than ever.
I don't know. What do you
I
think
think he's
about?
got something to prove.
What do you think about the Lakers?
Okay, I will. I am starting to become a believer with the Lakers. Now we're 15 games in, 18 games in.
Yeah, I think they're
So the
15
Lakers
or 16
Okay,
and 2.
18 games in, and we haven't heard any injury issues for LeBron
Yeah.
or for AD, which is a good sign.
I know, but you're right. One of those guys are gone. It's a whole nother story.
You know, and you're not hearing the word, you know, load maintenance with the Lakers. With the Clippers, you hear it all the time. Kawhi doesn't play 2 games. Kawhi doesn't play back-to-backs for sure.
Yeah.
He plays one or the other, right? So I thought maybe the Clippers would finish ahead of the Lakers in the regular season. That's not happening.
Yeah, but maybe not. But
I could see a scenario
the
right
Clippers
now.
are still darn good.
They
with
are, but
Lou
they-
Williams, Kawhi, and
I could
Paul
tell you-
George.
Right.
Wouldn't you would take those 3 over LeBron, AD, and who?
Assuming that they're healthy.
Yes,
Assuming that all of them are healthy.
Absolutely. I agree.
You know, but
right now-
I'm starting to switch over to where if they're all healthy, I would take LeBron and AD.
We should go back and look at some of our previous comments about teams, see how we've done.
Let's
The
do that for
Warriors,
the next episode.
the Warriors are pretty bad.
They are awful.
Spurs stink
But
right
they're
now.
decimated by injuries right now.
Spurs are too old.
You know, I mean, even D'Lo that they signed, even he's hurt.
I know, right?
You know,
It's like my fantasy football team. Well, it's not mine. It's Katie's.
all right.
So hey, and then Embiid.
So Embiid the other
you
night.
mentioned that.
Embiid the other night when the
We'll make
Sixers
this our last topic.
when the Sixers played the Raptors last week, Embiid had 0 points in the game. I think it was like 0 for 11 or 0 for 12 from the field.
A
And
goose egg, huh?
Drake was trolling him from the sideline like crazy.
Drake.
You know. Well, look, I don't blame him. I don't blame him for trolling him because Embiid does a lot of talking.
He does. You know what's annoying? When Embiid does this in the middle of the court, you know what it reminds me of? That's what the goiter, whatever.
Right.
But it reminds me of when Terrell Owens. Was it Terrell Owens? No. Who went to the middle of the Dallas Star?
It was
And-
T.O.
Was it T.O.?
I think it was T.O.
And who knocked him out? Who knocked someone?
It was one of the Cowboy players. I don't remember which one it was.
That was awesome. That's what somebody needs to do in Embiid.
Well, that's what Drake tried to do the
Well,
other
that
night.
won't happen, really.
Right? But 0 for 11, 0 for 13. I mean, with probably the shot, I'm sure they weren't all outside shots.
So is that kind of, do you think it was that to a certain degree that's kind of laziness or not trying as hard, as Jimmy Butler said on the news that they, you know, in practices and stuff, they didn't try as hard as he did?
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement to make.
If you're 0 for 13
Yeah.
and being that tall, being that big, you don't think yeah?
I think that's absolutely it. I mean, look.
When did Jordan ever have a 0-point game, man?
No, but
Did he ever?
When we were watching Jordan, and Jordan struggled early in the game, right? He missed a couple shots.
Yeah. He started driving.
He started driving.
Yeah.
He tried to get layups. Like, he wouldn't let anyone stop him.
Yeah,
He
but
got himself to the free throw line.
I know.
He didn't even.
I didn't even see the game, though. I don't know if he did.
Well, he got to the free throw. He missed free throws, but obviously not hard enough to try to get more to the free throw line more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to all of you out there.
Gobble.
Thanks to everyone who's been watching the podcast. Look at that transition.
Thanks
Thanks to everyone who's been watching the podcast.
We thank you.
We really appreciate you and our 40-plus subscribers that are out there. Thank you.
Yeah.
Next week, I think on Sunday, I think we're going to try to do a live episode.
Yes.
So make sure you hit that bell that's down below and the subscribe button so that you get notified. And we'll put it out on Twitter and Instagram when we're going to do the live episode. Probably sometime next Sunday, which I think is the 8th of December, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
We'll try to see if we can do that.
You might be
So
right.
hope all of you had a great Thanksgiving. Hopefully all of you ate very well for the holiday. And all have a safe and happy holiday out there.
That's good.
Nice job.
Yeah, you too.
All right.
Peace.
See you next time. Peace.